Hi mga kawawmat, in this video we will discuss the frequency distribution table, which includes how to organize our data. In this video, we will organize data in a frequency distribution table. But before we proceed to our discussion, don't forget to like our video and subscribe na rin po kayo. Thank you! Let us define first, what do we mean by frequency distribution? Ano nga ba ito? So, a frequency distribution table, frequency distribution is a way of presenting and organizing the data collected in a tabular form using classes and frequencies. So, after, di ba, dun sa previous tutorial natin, tinuruan ko kayo what are the ways and techniques on how to gather data, how to collect data. Ngayon, after nyo mag-collect ng data, magpo-proceed na po tayo dito sa frequency distribution. Gagawa na po tayo ng frequency distribution table for us to organize the data na na-collect natin. Okay? So, this is the most convenient method of organizing data by constructing the frequency distribution table in order to describe the situations, draw conclusions, or make inferences about events. The researcher must organize the data in some meaningful way. So, mas madali po kasi na yung na-collect nating data, aayusin natin, gagawan natin ng frequency distribution table for us to easily describe, analyze, and interpret the data collected. So, we have two ways of frequency distribution. So, we have the ungrouped frequency distribution and the group frequency distribution. So, what is the difference between these two? So, isa-isahin natin yung pagkakaiba nila. Pag sinabi nating ungrouped, classifies a given data set. Usually, this is less than or equal to 30. So, ito yung kung ang sample mo ay less than or equal to 30. So, ibig sabihin, mas mababa. Okay? Mas mababa yung bilang ng sample. And this is categorical. Okay? Pag sinabi natin categorical, kung halimbawa ang mga variable mo ay ages. So, pwede mong gamitin ang group frequency distribution. Kung ang data mo ay variable mo ay gender. Okay? So, this is by category. So, ginagamit natin ang ungrouped frequency distribution most of the time sa mga categorical data or class. And then, while pag sinabi natin group frequency distribution, there is already an interval or ratio, so yung level of data, and it is already beyond the sample of 30. Okay? So, madalas ginagamit natin ang grouped frequency distribution kapag ang sample size mo ay more than 30 na. Okay? Is it possible na gamitin natin yung data natin na less than 30 and then ang gagamitin natin less than 30 and then mag-group frequency distribution tayo? Yes, pwede rin naman po. Okay? And then halimbawa, beyond the sample of 30, gagamit ka ng ungroup. Depende po yan. Basta kapag ungroup, by category po ito. Okay? Kapag group frequency distribution, since marami na nga po siya, beyond the sample size of 30, kaya nagkakaroon na po tayo ng interval dahil marami po yung ating sample. Okay? And then, frequencies under ungroup frequency distribution is treated as individual. Okay? Individual data points or as discrete data. So, ito yung mga, anong tawag dito? It can be measured. Okay? Yun po yun. It can be counted. Okay? So, individual siya as single data. Okay? While the group, the frequencies of each data point are clustered. Pag sinabing clustered, naka-group. Okay? That's why dito pumapasok yung interval natin. Okay, let me show you an example of ungroup and group frequency distribution. So, meron ako dito dalawang table. So, ito yung sinasabi ko na kapag ungroup, as you can see, individual po yung data natin by class and by category. So, halimbawa ito, ages. So, ayan, I have 19, 18, 17. So, ilan yung may age na 19, 18. So, by category siya. It is treated as individual data. While, pag sinabi natin group, so ito yung halimbawa natin, naka-clustered. Meron na tayong interval. Okay? May group siya. Halimbawa, from 70 to 74. So, how many datas are included in this class? We have 5, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. So, we have 5 data. Or, since categorical nga po ito, pwede mo ilagay dito, halimbawa, religion. So, lahat ng mga religion, tapos bibilangin mo, or gender. So, yun po yung ungrouped data. So, your data is treated as individual data, while this one, it is group. Okay? So, sa isang class mo, marami pong data or observations ang meron dyan. So, let's have the ungrouped frequency distribution. How do we construct the frequency distribution of ungrouped data? So, let's have this one. 25 positive cases of COVID-19 were given a blood test to determine their blood type. The data is set as follows. So, I have here, we have 4 types of blood type here. So, we have A, B, O, and AB. So, gagawa po tayo ng table at ilalagay po natin dito yung ating category. We have A, B, O, and AB. Now, first thing to do, since categorical naman ito, ang gagawin nyo lang po is you have to count the number of respondents with a blood type of A, B, O, and AB. So, paano natin yun gagawin? So, ang una po nating laging ginagawa dyan is you have to tally. Okay? So, kailangan po nating magtally. Now, kapag po tayo ay nagtatally, make sure na meron tayong ilalagay dito na markings na ito ay ibig sabihin na bilang na natin o nailagay na natin doon. So, halimbawa, you can make use of the slash. Pwede po yun or bilugan nyo. Okay? So, let's start. So, I have here A. So, maglalagay ako dito ng 1 stick. Kasi A to. So, make sure na maglalagay po tayo ng mark na ibig sabihin natapos na natin siyang bilangin. And then, for O, and then dun siya sa O. For B, for A, and then for AB. Okay. So, pinakita ko lang kung paano po tayo nagtatali. So, lagyan nyo ng mark and then lagay po natin doon. Okay. And then, syempre, hindi na natin iisa-isahin. Ayan po siya. Ito ngayon ang ating tally. Now, if you have another way of doing your tally, pwede rin naman na ganito. Bilangin nyo muna lahat ng A. So, lagyan nyo ng mark lahat ng A. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Kaya, ayun, 5. Okay? And then B, 1, 2. So, pwede rin naman ganon. So, basta make sure lang po na wala po tayong hindi siya kulang at hindi siya sobra. Okay? Now, for us to easily count the tally na binigay ng ating data, kapag yung pang fifth, okay, yung pang fifth, i-cross natin ganon. So, let us create a box. So, para box po ang tawag natin dito. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 box. 1, 2, 3, 4 box. Para mas madali natin siyang bilangin if it's divisible by 5. Okay? So, let us count. So, I have here 5. And then this one, 5, 6, 7. And then 5, this is 9. And then this is 4. Okay. Are we done with this? Okay, make sure po na kapag nagtatali tayo at gumagawa tayo ng frequency, dapat po i-check natin mabuti ang total. So, yung total is represented by small letter n. So, bibilangin natin lahat. We have 12 plus 9, that is 21 plus 4, we have 25. So, yung 25 ay nagtali po dun sa data natin. Therefore, our frequency distribution table is correct for the given ungrouped data. Okay, so this is how we construct ungrouped frequency distribution table. Next, let's have the group frequency distribution. So, pag sinabi naman natin group, so let's talk about first the terms related to group frequency distribution. So, dapat alam natin yung mga terms na ginagamit when we are constructing grouped frequency distribution. So, let's have the lower class limit. Pag sinabi natin lower class limit, this is the smallest data value that can be included in the class. So, kanina pinakita ko yung dalawang klase ng group ng frequency distribution. Pag sinabi kasi natin group, may interval na siya. Clustered siya. Okay? So, sa bawat class, merong ilang data or observation ang nakapaloob doon or included doon. So, yung smallest na data na nilagay mo, that is your lower class limit. Okay? And then the upper class limit, of course, this is the largest data included in the class. So ito naman yung pinakamataas na kasama doon sa range of values po ninyo doon sa inyong interval. And then we also have the class boundaries. Pag sinabi natin class boundaries, these are used to separate the classes so that there are no gaps in the frequency distribution. So ito yung ginagamit natin, kaya siya tinawag na boundary. Okay? Para hindi natin maipapakita na hiwalay yung dalawang interval natin. Meron silang in between na kung saan common sa kanilang dalawa yon para wala tayong gaps. So ito makikita ninyo ito ng mas malinaw pagdating sa ating types of graphs. Makikita ninyo na yung class boundaries ang dahilan kung bakit ang graph natin magkakadikit. Okay? And then our class marks, this is the midpoint of the classes, or simply kinukuha natin dito yung average. Paano ba natin kinukuha ang average? Yung lower class limit mo, i-add mo doon sa upper class limit, and then the sum should be divided by 2. That will be your class mark. And then we also have our class width. Pag sinabi natin class width, this is the difference between two consecutive lower class limits. Yung magkasunod na lower class limit mo. Ima-minus po natin yon, and that will serve as our class width. Actually, pag nakuha mo yung class width, that is also your interval, class interval. So let's have an example. So I have here, ito po yung tinatawag nating lower class limit. So lahat nung mababa, yung smallest data dun sa set ng bawat class mo. So dito sa class na to, this is your lower class limit. Dito naman 55, dito 60, dito 65, 70, and 75. Pag sinabi naman nating upper class limit, ito naman po yon. Siya yung largest data na included, na kasama dun sa class mo. Okay, so that is 54, 59, dito ay 64, dito ay 69, 74, and 79. Now, when we say class boundaries, ito nga po yung common para walang gaps. So, ano yung since kagaya nito, magkahiwalay sila ng classes, right? So, ano yung kanilang boundary na kung saan para walang gap na mangyayari? So, ang gagawin po natin, magsusubtract tayo dito ng 0.5. Dito naman mag-a-add tayo ng 0.5. Kaya dito, this will become 74.5. And then ito, 79.5. So as you can see, para makuha natin yung class boundaries, you just have to subtract 0.5 here. And then add 0.5 naman dito sa right side natin, dun sa upper class limit. Okay? Ganun din po yung gagawin natin sa iba. Now, kung mapapansin niyo, yung boundary po ng lower class limit mo dito is the same as the boundary dun sa upper class limit mo. So, ito yung kanilang boundary. So, as you can see, that's why there are no gaps between them. Okay? So, ayun po yung kanilang boundary. So, halimbawa, binigay sa table natin, ito pong dalawa. Malalaman nyo ngayon kung ano yung interval. Halimbawa, ito lang yung given, 74.5 and then 79.5. Hindi given tong interval. Paano nyo malalaman? Kung ito yung binigay na boundary, malalaman po natin yung interval. Paano? Magpa-plus ka dito ng 0.5, so that is 75. Magma-minus ka naman dito ng 0.5, that is 79. So, given the boundaries, we can also identify the class interval. And then, for us to find the class mark, sabi nga po natin, this is the midpoint or the average. So, add natin, like for example, dito, so 50 plus 54, that is 104 divided by 2, that is 52. So, therefore, dito, sa class na to, ang class mark niya is 52. Okay, so makukuha nyo na po yan lahat. Kapag nakuha nyo na po itong 52, makukuha nyo na po lahat gamit ang ating class width. Okay? Another way of finding the class mark is, halimbawa, ilista mo siya. Okay? Kung ano yung pinakagitna, yun po yung kanyang class mark. Now, ang case naman, pag ganito naman ang ginamit nyo, kasi paano kapag anim yung data mo, dalawa ang gitna mo doon. Okay? So, kaya mas applicable na gamitin po natin itong lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Okay? And then, so we have the class width, this is the difference. Pag sinabi natin class width, ito yung lower limit. Difference daw po ng dalawang magkasunod. So 55 minus 50, this is 5. Okay, so therefore, our class width is 5. Pag nakukuha po natin ang ating class width, that is also your class interval. Okay, yung interval mo dito. So that is, this is also 5. Bakit? Ibig sabihin, yun yung bilang ng observations or data na nandito. So from 50, bilangin natin 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. So we have 5 observations. Okay? So, kaya ang pag nakuha nyo po yung class width, yun din po ang kanyang interval. Let's have the steps in constructing the group frequency distribution. So, first step is you have to find the range. When we are getting the range, you have to subtract the lowest number from the highest number. So, highest number minus the lowest number. And then, step 2, decide on the number of classes. Usually, it is from 5 to 20. So, pwede ka mag-decide kung anong ilang classes ang gusto mong i-create. Okay? Pero, most of the time, binibigay ito ni teacher. So, pag binigay ni teacher, like for example, construct frequency distribution table using 5 classes. 5 classes ang gagamitin mo. Pero kung hindi siya given, you may decide on your own kung ilan ang gusto mong classes. Basta, ito po yung kanyang range. Okay? Or you may use this as your guide in creating or identifying the number of classes na gusto mo. Okay? Ano ba itong K? K is the unknown number and the N is the total number of correspondents. Step 3, find the class width. That's why sa step 1 natin, you have to get the range and then the number of classes kasi kailangan po natin ito para sa step 3 para makuha natin yung class width. So, divide the range by the number of classes. And then, ito po yung ating formula in finding the class width, the range divided by the number of classes. And then step 4, pag nakuha na po natin itong tatlo, we can now construct our frequency distribution. Add the class width to the starting point to get the second lower limit, then enter the upper class limit. So, yung step 4 at 5 natin, ito yung kapag meron na tayong table. And step 5, represent each score by a tally and count the total frequency of each class. Let's start. So, I have here the scores of 40 students in a math quiz. So, ito po yung scores ng 40 students sa math quiz. So, construct a frequency distribution table given the set of data using 6 classes. So, dito binigay yung number of classes. Okay? So, first step po natin, find the range. Identify po natin yung ating highest number and then lowest number. So, what is the highest number? We have 99. And your lowest number is 70. So, yun po ang kailangan natin para makuha natin ang range. So, we have 99 minus 70, that is 29. And then, step 2, decide on the number of classes. Now, since given po yung ating number of classes, ibig sabihin, there's no need to decide. Hindi natin kailangan mag-decide dahil given po yun. So, 6 classes po tayo. And then step 3, find the class width. Divide the range by the number of classes using this formula. So we have 29 divided by 6. And that is 4.833 something. Now, your class width, kapag kinukuha natin yung class width natin, it is always round up. Okay? So lagi po natin i-round to the next whole number. Hindi dahil 8 to. Okay? Hindi dahil 5 to 9 ito. Basta kapag kinukuha po natin ng class width, lagi po tayo magra-round up. Okay? To the next whole number. So, that is 5. Next. Step 4. Add the class width to the starting point to get the second lower class limit. Then, enter the upper class limit. So, ito namang step 4 at 5 natin. Gagawin na natin to kapag may table na. So, importante po, makuha muna natin yung step 1 to 3. So, we have our number of classes, 6, since this is given. And your class width na nakuha natin kanina, lagi po tayong round to the next whole number. So, that is 5. Okay? So, let's prepare our frequency distribution table. So, your class interval, kapag kumukuha po tayo na, gumagawa tayo ng table, yung number of classes, since 6 po, ibig sabihin 6 rows po ang gagawin mo. Okay? So, 6 na rows po yan. Now, paano natin malalaman kung saan tayo magsisimula? Doon po tayo magsisimula sa inyong lowest number and that is 70. Okay, from 70, ma'am, pwede po bang dito ako mag-start? Yes. Okay, it's up to you kung dito mo gustong mag-start pababa ka o dito ka mag-start pataas. Okay, so we have our lowest number o lowest score which is 40. I mean 70. So ito pong 70, i-apply natin ngayon itong class width natin. So, doon natin gagamitin yung class width. Ibig sabihin yun yung width nila. So, anong gagawin natin? Magpa-plus 5 po tayo. So, that is 75. At ganun din po sa lahat. So, magpa-plus 5 po tayo. 80, 85, 90, 95. So, nakuha na po natin yung ating lower class limit. Okay? So, lower class limits. Let's proceed to our upper class limit. Paano natin kukunin? Magma-minus 1 po tayo dito. So, that is 74. And then, apply nyo ulit yung class width. So, dito, apply nyo ulit. Plus 5 tayo. So, 74 plus 5, that is 79, 84, 89, 94, and 99. So, we now have our class interval. So, meron tayong 6 na classes. Make sure, you have to check ha, na dapat yung last na class mo, included po doon yung highest score. Okay? So, siguraduhin po natin, i-check natin mamaya kasi hanggang yung na-create mo hanggang 97 lang, ang highest score mo ay 99. So, hindi siya kasama. So, saan mo siya ilalagay? So, i-check po natin kung included lahat ng scores na given dun sa ating data. Okay? And then, let us tally. So, we have 86, 86, 81, 82, 87, and then 80, 89, 99, 82, 72, 83, 91, 87, 72, 70, 82, 80, 71, 90, and 83. Okay, so yung iba, eto na po siya. Okay, so let us count. So sabi ko nga kapag 5 po, pwede nyo siyang i-box. Okay? Para mas madali sa atin magbilang. So, we have 6. Okay, we have 6. We have 4, 13, 9, 5, and 3. Okay, from the given frequency, i-check natin kung 40. Kasi our data is 40. So, dapat 40 po ang kalalabasan nito. So, we have 6 plus 4 is 10, 23. We have 32, 37, and then 40. Okay, so since nagtali po siya dun sa ating given data, therefore, tama na po ang ating frequency distribution table. So, yun po muna ang unang i-check natin. Dapat magtali po yung frequency mo dito, yung N, yung total dun sa given data. Let's proceed. So, ito yung nakuha natin kanina. Let us identify the class boundaries and the class mark. So, ano ba tong class boundary? Sabi ko nga, magma-minus 0.5 ka dito sa lower class limit at mag-add 0.5 ka doon sa upper class limit. Kasi kung ano yung lower boundary nito at upper boundary, pareho po yun. Okay? Kaya there are no gaps pagdating sa ating mga classes. Okay, so kunin natin ang class boundary. So, start tayo dito. So, mag-minus tayo ng 0.5. This is 69.5. Mag-add tayo ng 0.5, 74.5. Now, so, pwede nyo i-apply yung lahat or actually, you may also apply the class width. Since ang class width niya ay 5, pwede ka rin mag-add dito ng 555 na lang. Okay, so 69 plus 5, that is 74.5. 74.5 plus 5, 79.5. At ganun din po sa iba. Okay, so maraming ways. Pwedeng i-add mo yung class width, makukuha mo yan lahat. Or, pwede rin namang tingin ka dito, minus 0.5 and then plus 0.5. Actually, pag nakuha mo yung una, makukuha mo na yan lahat. And then, sa ating class mark, paano kukunin ng class mark? Sabi ko nga, add natin yung ating lower class limit at upper class limit. So, we have 70 plus 74 divided by 2. 70 plus 74, that is 144 divided by 2. That is equal to 72. So, ang class mark natin is 72. Okay? So, 72 po ang ating class mark. Ngayon, since ang class width mo dito ay 5, plus 5 lang po tayo sa lahat. So, 82, plus 5 po dito, that is 87. plus 5 po dito, that is 92 plus 5, 97. So, ang marami pong gamit yung class width natin, hindi lang po dito sa ating class interval, pati po sa class boundaries, you may apply that, and also sa ating class mark. Next, so construct a frequency distribution table given the set of data. In this case, hindi po given yung ating classes. So, tayo magde-decide nun. Okay? So, first step, find the range. What is our range? Your range is, you have to subtract the lowest number from the highest number. So, identify natin ang highest is 63 and lowest is 14. So, 63 minus 14, that is 49. Step 2, decide on the number of classes. So, in this case, magde-decide talaga tayo kasi hindi po given. Hindi binigay ni teacher yung ating number of classes. Okay? So, usually, 5 to 20 po ang pwedeng classes natin. Depende po syempre sa data natin. Okay? Now, or you may use this as your guide. Yung 2 raised to k is greater than n. So, dapat yung makuha mong value dito greater than n. Ano ba yung n mo dito? So, bilangin mo yung data mo. We have 30. Okay? Our data here is 30. So, dapat mas mataas. Kung pag na-meet mo na-reach mo na yung number na mas mataas sa 30, ibig sabihin, makukuha natin yung number of classes. So, let us use this table. So, your k here is an unknown number. So, let us try 1 to 6. Okay? And then, i-substitute natin yung k natin dun sa ating exponent. So, we have 2 raised to 1, that is 2. 2 raised to 2, 2 times 2, that is 4. 2 raised to 3, so 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8. 2 raised to 4, and then 8 times 2, 16. And then 16 times 2, kasi 2 raised to 5 na 32, and then 64. Now, ang sabi, dapat mas mataas sa n, which is 30. 30 yung n natin dito. So, alin dito yung mas mataas sa 30 na nakuha natin? Meron tayong dalawa. Okay? Pero, syempre, ito ang kukunin natin dahil ito yung malapit. Once na makita mo na agad yung number na mas mataas sa 30, yun na po ang kukunin natin. So, 32 is greater than 30. So, therefore, ang kukunin po natin na number o ang gagamitin natin na number of classes ay 5. Okay? So, ganito po ang gagawin kapag hindi po given yung number of classes. So, ganito po ang gagawin. You may use this formula to raise to k is greater than n. So, since nandito siya, nag-fall, 5 po ang ating number of classes. Now, we can now find the class width by dividing the range dun sa ating number of classes. So, your range is 49 divided by 5, that is 9.8. Sabi ko nga, lagi po tayong round to the next whole number. So, this will become 10. Okay, round to the next whole number. So, yung number of classes natin na nakuha kanina is 5. Our class width is 10 kasi nag-round to the next whole number tayo, that is 10. Okay, so let us construct our frequency distribution table. So, our class interval, so start tayo, what is your lowest score? We have 14. Okay, your lowest number, so that is 14. Ngayon, bilangin, check nyo pala yung rows nyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kasi 5 classes, so 5 dapat yung rows natin. And then, lagay mo dito yung lowest number mo. Apply mo yung class width, magpa-plus 10 po tayo. So, we have 24. Ganun din po sa iba. 34, 44, 54. And then, minus 1 ito. So, that is 23. Apply nyo ulit yung class width ninyo. Plus 10 lang din po tayo. So, we have 33, 43, 53, and 63. So, check natin kung yung highest score natin na 63 ay included po sa ating classes. Kasi kung hindi, ibig sabihin there's something wrong with your interval. Okay? Now, kunin natin ang tally. So, tally natin isa-isa. We have 41, 44, 34, 54, 52, 63, 47, 39, 60, and 17. Okay, and then sabay-sabay na natin ito. Okay, so we have our frequency 5, ito 5, and then 8. We have 8, 4, and 5. Add natin ito, dapat magtali po siya sa ating data which is 30. So we have 13 plus 8, 31, plus 4, 35 plus 5, 40. So, our n is equal to 30. Okay? So, 30 po na kung saan nagsatis po siya dun sa bilang ng ating data. So, find the class boundary. So, minus 0.5, 0.5. So, kunin muna natin dito. This is 13.5 to 23.5. So, ito po yung ating lower class boundary. This is your upper class boundary. And then, add lang po tayo. Pwede nyo gamitin yung class width. So, add po tayo ng 10, 10 dyan. Pati po dito. So, we have 23.5, 33.5, 33.5 to 43.5, 43.5 to 53.5, and then ito rin po siya. So, again, these are your lower class boundaries, and these are your upper class boundaries. So, you, again, in identifying your class boundaries, you may also apply the class width. Pero, syempre, dun ka mag-start sa lowest. Okay? So, lagi po tayong sa lowest. And then, for our class mark, so add natin si 14 at 23 divided by 2, that is 37 divided by 2, that is 18.5. So, this is 18.5. And then, plus 10 lang tayo kasi yun ang ating class width. Plus 10, so 28.5, 38.5, 48.5, and 58. So, again, pwede mo pong gamitin ang class width ninyo dito aside from your classes. Pwede rin po dito sa class boundaries and class mark. Pag nakuha nyo po yung nasa unahan, makukuha nyo na po lahat. Again, kapag nag-arrange po tayo ng ating class intervals, pwede rin po dito tayo mag-start 14 to 23. Okay? Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.